What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Scorched Earth video. Today I'll be showing you how to tame the Phaseolosukis. So guys, you can currently see right here in front of us is a dirt mound. Now beneath this dirt mound is the Phaseolosukis. So guys, what you need to do is approach it with an explosive. You can use C4, you can use grenades. And what you want to do is simply throw the grenade or the explosive at the Phaseolosukis, wait for it to explode, and you'll see that it will pop out of the ground slightly stunned. With this, you're then able to ride the Phaseolosukis, and you can then control it by using the mouse to try and steer it into rocks as well. Now, by steering it into said rocks, what that will enable you to do is to build up its torpidity. You can see this guy is very effective at pretty much getting through most of the stuff in the ground. He will, however, pop out if you steer him into a solid object like you saw us just do there. And he unfortunately did break free. So you saw the control bar as well that was present. What we're going to do now is we're going to try and run away from him because he's obviously aggroed on us. So if we come out of here, out of render range, now obviously you're not going to be in GCM mode when you do go ahead and attempt this. So what I would recommend is a fast travel mount such as a Procoptodon. Even a Morellatops is fast enough to outrun the Phaseolosukises. And then once you've simply left render range, you can then head back in and you'll see there that he's pretty much chill. He's not focused on us whatsoever. I would recommend some ghillie for this as well, due to the fact that it does help make you hidden and you can approach it slightly easier when doing so. And we're coming up to the end of its torpidity, and as you can see, I've come into contact with pretty much everything in this vicinity, bar the actual terrain. Oh, of course. Oh, he's knocked out. We got him. I thought we got kicked off. Whew. So, just like that, we've managed to knock out our own Phaseolosukis. Now, one thing to note when trying to knock these guys out is try to find as flat over terrain as you possibly can. You can currently see here, this is the area where I was actually just going around with it. And you can see there's no actual cliff faces. So all these cliff faces is what actually causes you to get kicked off. Going through all the rocks, going through all the trees is fine. It doesn't matter how fast you're going, what angle you're going on. As long as you go through the rocks and the trees, your control will go back up to normal. So keep that in mind. The one thing you want to avoid contact with is ledges and stuff like that that will cause you to get kicked off. That will cause the Phaseolosukis to get put on a weird angle. Anything like that you want to try and avoid. This whole area was pretty flat. We went through most of the rocks around here. We did get it knocked out. It did take us quite a long time. I don't even want to think about what it'll be like for a 150, but it is possible to get them knocked out. I really like this spot for doing it. You can see we are currently here on the map. So really good spot for knocking out Phaseolosukises, and there was another one over there somewhere that we could knock out. Now, once they're knocked out, all you need to do is simply feed them meat. You can go for standard meat, you can go for mutton, you can go for prime meat, whatever you want. You can also go kibble if you wanted to. Obviously, we are going to use mutton here. It's just the easiest, most accessible thing that we currently have. And you can see there off one piece of mutton for a level 5, it is at 60%. Obviously, this is a level 5. I will chuck up the whole clip of me actually knocking it out. It'll obviously be sped up, but you'll see that I don't actually get kicked off once from crashing into the various rocks, trees, and everything around here. As long as you avoid those cliff faces or any sort of uneven ledges, you should be fine. I was a little bit worried here because I felt like we were going to get kicked off, but thankfully we didn't. And you can see just like that, we've got our very own Phaseolosukis. I apologize, I'm probably butchering its name. This is a really nice looking one. Now for its saddle, it is learnt at level 70. So you've got a little bit of grinding to do before you're able to make its saddle, and it is crafted at the smithy. Now, once you've got the saddle on this guy, he's got a couple of different moves. Now, his secondary attack is a debris whip, and this is a ranged attack that will inflict damage upon creatures or players in the distance. It is on a bit of a cooldown, so keep that in mind. However, if you do hit the spacebar button, that causes the big beefy boy to head into the sand. And with that, you can then swim. Now this does utilize quite a lot of stamina, so keep that in mind as well, as you will go through quite a lot of stamina. Coming out onto uneven terrain will cause you to jump out as well. And you can see there is the debris whip once again as well in action. The saddle on this dude is actually really sick as well. I really like the saddle design for this guy. Now, he obviously has his primary attack as well. And this is actually an armor sundering attack as well. So it will deplete players' armor very similarly to the Arthur Plura Spit if you attack another player with this armor. You can see if we come over to this Titanoboa here and we decide to attack the Titanoboa, get a little bit of a chunky chunk. You can see there 63 damage, and we now do extra damage to the Titanoboa because of that armor piercing bile attack that we currently have. So keep that in mind. These guys are really cool tames to get. They're going to be a pain in the ass to do so, but it is a very cool tame to have. And you can see here our bile attack is actually stacking and dealing more and more damage. Now, he does also have the ability to leap out of the sand and deal an attack. So you can see here we've got the Scorpion up here in front of us. All you need to do is hit the primary attack button and he will jump out and do an attack with his standard bite damage. So keep that in mind as well. He does do headshot multiplier damage as well to those he's able to hit. And like I mentioned, his armor debuff bite does cause dinos to take more damage over time. Now, he also has a quicksand attack, which causes him to, it's actually called a maelstrom, which causes him to spin in a circle. We're just going to buff up his stamina and activate a cheat so you guys can see what that looks like in action. There we go. So if we activate his maelstrom, you can see there it does actually slowly stun the creatures and they do start to become immobilized. We actually got dizzy there ourselves from not cancelling it in time. So you can see there the build-up is there. And once we get to full, you can see there if we activate it, we are able to immobilize those in the vicinity. He also does seem to re-suck up his poo. He did just poo there and suck it back up. So if we let the build-up continue again, you want to hit the immobilize button and you can see there the Pulmio-Scorpius is getting stunned. It also does deal damage over time too. So keep that in mind, but the Maelstrom attack is a really cool attack to use and I'd heavily recommend it. So that is all there really is for the Phasalosouchus. He does gather flint when you go through rocks as well at a pretty decent rate. He's obviously a little bit faster in the sand as well. So you can see here if we come through these rocks, we absolutely demolish them, gaining flint in the process as well. So he's really good for that. I'd heavily recommend. I mean, these guys are just super cool to have, to be honest. They are a new dino on the Scorched Earth map, so it's just something nice to have as well. Although I would have liked a couple more dinosaurs, the Phasalosouchus does the job and he gets a butt ton of flint in the process. Baby direwolf, oh my god, that's so cute. In the process as well. Now, as for metal and everything like that, I don't believe he is capable of harvesting up any extra metal. What we're going to do is we're just going to double check as well before I end up eating my words. You can see here we have some metal. So let's just do that, and we're going to dig through these rocks here and see if he harvests up metal. He doesn't. He just breaks through the rocks themselves, so he's good for clearing out terrain and stuff like that, but he won't get you any really decent resources. His best resources that he grabs are the flint from the rocks around him. So guys, that is everything you need to know about the Phasalosouchus. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.